I am going to assume we are live because I have been given the okay by our producer. Hello there, everybody. It is an absolute pleasure to be back here on Horde of Tales for Aether Seekers of the Heart, our Aether RPG series that we are having here. It's been amazing. Past 2 weeks already. This group has been phenomenal in for so many different reasons. We got Nikki to finally be back last week, and what a performance, what a just intro to an amazing character, and so many things discovered last week. If you want to know exactly what those things are, go check out the VODs over on Horde of Tales YouTube channel, and go take a look at those. Also, go give some time to the Convergence Manifesto that also happens here on the channel. Fantastic group of players there, one of whom is actually part of our group. Fantastic car over there. Hello. But looking like, oh no, I have been noticed. Don't like this. But so to get everything out of the way, I'm going to let folks introduce themselves, name, pronouns, and character name and pronouns, and then I'll start doing all of the I can never forget. Matt Colville puts it, the verbal doobly-doo is my equivalent to it, and then we'll get into it. So I'm going to start, almost as I always do, with Hector.
Yes, hi, my name is Hector Reyes. My pronouns are he, they, and I play Esper, first guardian of the Sun Gardens, and Esper's pronouns are he, him.
Fantastic. And for a slight change of chaos, I'm going to go over to Jenna. Unmute.
Sorry, I was muted. Hello, everyone. I'm Jenna, and I play Morrigan, and we both have she, her pronouns.
Fantastic. Moving from our Bipanic Chaos Pirate over to the most elegant and incomparable Kestrel.
Hello, today I'll be Kestrel, she, they pronouns, and I'll be playing Mother Mercy, she, her pronouns.
Wonderful, wonderful. Moving over to our wonderful, I believe, what was it? Eldritch Crow, the maker of the game, referred to you as some rock boy at one point, is Nikki.
Hello there, I'm Nikki, he, they, and I will be playing Sonorum, the lovable rock boy, they, them.
Fantastic. And last but not least, the wonder, the divine, that is Caro.
Yeah, hello, I'm Caro, pronouns she, they, and today I'm gonna play Jewel, pronouns he, they, or your lovely pyrocaster.
If you want fire, you don't have to wait for it. Jewel will just, it will come for you. You don't wait for the fire comes for you. But with that out of the way, so I want to quickly go over just for any of our viewers who are going to be here live or who are going to be here watching on the VODs. This particular session, as with most sessions, starts with a content warning and a heads up that we do with all of our players have safety tools established of players can at any given time put, whether showing visibly or in chat, put up an X to indicate we are stopping the content we are at right now and doing hard veer away from it. And meaning, let's start moving away from this content, or in like sort of closing up the scene, or oh, meaning yes, give me more of that amazing yes. It's the equivalent of the yes indication. But also want to do content warnings, and that the series, because of the aesthetics of it, does involve things like insects mentioned in passing in regards to a lot of the locales and creatures that often structure and shape different aspects of the world. As well as for some of our characters, we've established this in session 0 and in talking between myself and the individual players, elements of very messed up relationship dynamics and also elements of potentially toxic relationships. If that is something that you are not feeling like you can handle seeing in a performative capacity, please feel free to head out. We understand, and we want you to take care of yourselves first and foremost. No show or performance ever beats that out. And the same goes for our players, including myself. We will indicate to one another if it's reaching a spot where we're like, can we maybe rewind that and change it? That is always something that everyone has full liberty and agency to do so. And also in particular, if you are a fan for this session and possibly the next session as well, of the series Nier Automata, particularly the events that inspired and are played for the song A Beautiful Song, those themes and those characters will be present during the next couple of sessions. So if you are aware of that series and the kinds of themes that it deals with, and you feel like that's a little too much, please feel free to head out. We perfectly understand. But with all of that out of the way, get into the recap as we move into session 3, Form the Piercing Fear, which sounds a lot worse when I say it out loud. Writing it, it only sounds a certain way. Saying it out loud makes it sound so much worse. It is that bad. Anyways, our group for the past couple of sessions has been collected and summoned forth to take on a task, which is to shepherd the Heartstone, the very central core of energy in the entire mountain world of Umbra, and take it all the way to the top layer, to where the top of Umbra actually reaches to pierce the heavens themselves in order to refuel it with light and bring it back in order to maintain life and energy for the entire mountain. Now, along the way, they have encountered terrifying creatures that are seemingly stuck in a state of emotional and a gentle stasis known as shattering or shattered, as well as coming into conflict with elements of their own personal threads, whether it be of a maritime capacity, a transfigurative capacity, or the recovering of memories. We ended up with them having bed rest and taking shelter in Camilia's home, the overseer of the Umbral Light ceremony that has passed on each of the fragments of the Heartstone to everyone. And that is where we pick up for this session, as it is, I guess, the equivalent of what you might call morning now, but everyone is awaking at this time. And very quickly going around, what is your character's experience? Wake up. Do you just like go, roll out of bed? And it's like, I'm fine, let's just go. Or do you have something more involved for each of your characters? And of course, not all of you volunteer at once, or I will start calling on you like a school teacher.
So Esper gets up in the morning, and Esper has a full routine. Like, they get up, they pretty much, they don't have the leg wraps on because you're not supposed to wear leg wraps to bed because it can cut off circulation. So they're just wearing their baggy pants, and they make their bed, and they get in and they begin their morning calisthenics. And it is just a lot of shirtless push-ups, jumping jacks, what we and stretching, deep, intense stretching, meditation, mindfulness. Occasionally they'll pull out some, like, they'll do like body weight exercises. So he has some rocks that he likes to lift, but there's no rocks here, so he's just doing all that. And once he's done with that, he has like a ritual bathing ceremony with like a pool of water where he gets cleansed for the day and like greets the sun, and then gets dressed, and then heads off to meet up with the others for breakfast. And this is all probably an hour to 2 hours before anybody else wakes up.
Next up.
Mother Mercy starts the day being her own hair and makeup team. She finds like a reflective puddle somewhere illuminated by like glowing moss or whatever there is to like look at herself with. And it's just very sort of like meticulous but energetic, like spindly fingers going all across, just fixing herself up, making sure that she looks bright and fresh, like a well-painted piece of wood for the morning, and is ready to sort of greet everyone else.
More is the opposite of them. More has rolls out of bed at the last possible second, just like dunks self into bathing water. Braids hair quickly and not meticulously, and then uses a dagger to just eyeliner, and then ready.
I will give a slight reminder, and just to ask if this changes anything about her morning routine. You do still have access to the mirror that lets you see your true self. Camellia has gifted you and also Jewel with that. Does that
I
change anything?
think that she's hungover, so not this morning, but
Can't
you
grieve
know.
too drunk. Jesus.
Very real.
You know, we all face our demons in our own way. Some of them are healthy, some of them are. Anyways,
Stressful for our livers.
stress. Yeah. Moving on from that, Sonorum, what is your
Alright.
morning routine like?
And so for Sonorum, or rather, there are people they don't really sleep. So I will say I am, instead of like going to bed, I would be question that construct from last week. Where is it being held?
I mean,
Is it still in fire?
no, it is not still on fire. I was
Okay.
about to make it very clear that I know we kind of acted like it was staying stuck in fire, but I don't think Javil kept that going
No,
past your
no, I
initial
didn't.
efforts. It was dropped afterwards. The construct is being tended to by healers and such. There are folks. Camellia has made sure that the construct is being taken care of.
And it's calm right now.
Yes, they are still calm.
All right. In that case, then for the rest of the night until morning, I will be at that room with the healers, just sort of like crouched down, you know, my 3 legs are like pushed down and just planted myself on the ground, almost like a turret. And I'm just over there watching and just being by the construct in case it needs assistance and just watch it, making sure it has a friend nearby. And then I just watch because I don't sleep.
Yeah, there are 2 healers. They're both moss and almost like fungal humanoids, fungal based humanoids, but in the facial features, one has like a lot of stubble on their face, or like what the equivalent of stubble would be, and has I'll say best comparison is like Hugh Laurie as House MD, and the other one just has a very dreamy expression that you don't know why, but there is some sort of show about like dark gray anatomy of some kind. Like you get the sense this person has a dreamy face for some reason as well. Just both very attractive in very different ways, but both also very considerate and very compassionate and caring for the construct.
Good. I would say that would be something that Sonorum would keep an eye out to make sure that these people know how to care for the construct, and sort of like, okay, you just direct them, you know, like, no, don't do it this way, do it that way, that kind of thing.
They both seem to argue like a married couple with one another over what the proper practice is, and you providing the insight that you do in regards to how your particular people's anatomy works is helpful. It does seem to diffuse the tension between the 2 of them, and there is like once the, for lack of a better term, patient is taken care of and resting, they both seem to like do like a close like head on shoulder kind of effect on one another. It's very sweet, very tender.
All right. And yeah, I will just spend the rest of the day and night until the equivalent of dawn, just watching over the construct.
Yeah, they seem to be doing just fine. Like this is a much more, I guess, what you would consider typical construct like entity, still made entirely of like rocks and glittering jewels, but the sort of unseemly bright white crystals after being removed seem to have been the wounds are healing over time from that being jammed into their person.
Okay. Then I will collect some of those white gems and keep it with me. I won't jam it into my body, but I will keep it, like, I guess I'll form like a small little pack or something.
I mean, it is, as I said before, it is the fragments of memoria that you know are primarily used for curse making purposes and transfigurative properties to them, but could be retooled because I believe you have skill in alchemy, correct?
Alchemy
Alchemy or tinkering? I can't remember. Or
Oh
am
no,
I thinking of someone else?
no, that's not me.
I put
Sorry,
tinkering.
I'm thinking of Mother Mercy. Mother Mercy has tinkering. Yes, I love that this is going to be the gesture for tinkering. Is the
So
the
fun.
2000s equivalent of being on a computer pressing the keyboard rapidly. It's the hacker I'm in gesture. But you do think if you were to bring these to an alchemist of some kind, you could refine them into something else.
That could
Potentially,
potentially beneficial.
yes. Again, this is not something that everyone necessarily has experience with, but if you find a decent alchemist, like you could, translation, if you take some time during this or some other session to go and look for someone, I'll put it down to like a skill check. And if you succeed on it, I'll say you can find someone who would be willing to take the time, because it's a rare enough material that someone just getting to work with it would take it as payment. / there is currency in the system, but I'm not using it because fuck money. Like, I need money. People, please pay me, but also fuck money.
All right, yeah,
But
I'll
yeah.
just keep a satchel curled up against one of my fingers, just store it there for future use.
But yeah, morning arrives. There is nice bits of fresh, sort of like circular rounds of dough that have been baked with cheese inside of it, sort of like a hard cheese that's melted all throughout the center. There's what is like it's basically like tea that has had coca leaves that's been soaked into it, so it forms a very nice sort of soothing kind of sensation when drinking it. And there's also like fresh, like hot chocolate, like the freshest beans being used, like cocoa beans being used for hot chocolate. And if you are not any of those kinds of things, then there's also alternatives that can be served. But those are like the main staples. Breakfast, you get the sense the number is, at least on this layer, is not the highlight. It's mostly lunch and other meals that are more central. Oh no, have we lost Jen?
No, Jenna is BRB.
Got it. Anyways, carrying on. It is the morning. You are all there. Camellia is doting on all of you in her still resplendent outfit of moss, flowers, vines, and such that have curled up and formed her sort of ups her root-like dress. She's still very pretty. She's still a big lady.
As we sort of like gather and enter in, I will head to Camellia first thing, and like while everybody's sort of like gathering themselves and eating breakfast, just say, so Camellia, thank you so much for everything you've done for us. Feeling very welcomed, feeling very heroic with all the sort of gestures and traditions. But when is it we're supposed to be heading out? Because this feels pretty.
You may feel free to head out as soon as possible. This is I'm simply providing you with the nourishment that you would need should you be someone who partakes of things that require nutrition. No one should ever feel as though they have to go out for any sort of travel on an empty stomach.
You simply have everything prepared, and typically I'm the one overseeing the production, so it's just nice having someone else to think about that.
I do try my best to ensure that everyone is taken care of however they would like.
Wonderful, then I shall take advantage of this time, and I'll join up with everyone else as they're sort of doing what they're doing.
Food is
Wow.
presented.
Oh,
Esper?
yeah. I take the mask off, set it aside, and then just start eating. And I say, good morning, everyone. How's the community feeling today?
Mm-mm. Just indistinguishable grunts from more while eating food.
Drew is just pulling the food apart like as if he is just testing like the texture of it, like, okay, what to do with this. He is Laura looks like as if he is probably the most picky eater ever. Especially with this filled buns, it's like, and then just puts it away and goes for more basic stuff.
Mother Mercy just watching everyone who is eating just eat intently with like her same marionette smile on her face.
Oh, I was just about to say Sonorum is doing the same because they don't eat. They're
Don't
just
eat.
watching everyone.
Yeah.
Two of you don't eat. One of you is the pickiest eater in the world. One of you is drunk, and the other one's happy as can be. Well, dealing with a hangover, not drunk. Currently not
Yeah.
drunk, but that could be solved
Pretty easily, actually.
pretty easily, I must say.
Little rum and the orange juice, and we're good to go.
Esper is just really enjoying like a home cooked meal, because like I wrote rations in my pack, so I imagine that he's been eating like mushroom jerky and like a couple of other things.
My rations in my world are better than hardtack bread. I'm just letting you know.
Oh,
Don't do
yeah,
that
no, of
for
course.
your rations. We do better
Yeah.
rations here.
Yes, portobello jerky.
I feel called out because I have a packet of fucking portobello jerky in my living room right now that I would have if it didn't upset my stomach. This is an attack on me. I will remember this. But breakfast is served. You know that there are different possibilities you can follow up on as far as potential threads. There is looking into Gertrude the Gentle. There is seeing if it is worthwhile to see what's happening on the pirate layer.
Before we're doing this, while Drew is just pulling apart a bit of meat that he has on his I forgot the word.
Bread.
No, he doesn't like spread. Doesn't matter because I
Plate.
will not play it. Thank you.
Yeah.
He is just looking at this, everyone gathered together, and just for a short moment looking up. Why did you all agree on doing that mission?
Well, a curious question indeed. Oh, would you like us to answer?
I would love to. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the implication, right? Someone asks a question and
Oh, of
you
course.
answer it unless it's rhetorical. I think that's the reason why I didn't necessarily. Juvie, is that a rhetorical question? I just want to clarify.
I don't think Juvie asks rhetorical questions.
Okay, then I will give you an honest answer. Honestly, number one is, if I'm being completely honest, survival. I am the canned-in answer, the one that I immediately almost gave you, was obligation to the community. But if I'm truly being honest with myself, it is because I want to live. And I want my brother to live. And I want, by extension, everyone on this mountain to continue to live. And if I don't do my part to ensure this ritual is completed, we don't get to live. And those who are not alive, because I understand from Mother Mercy, not every sentient entity in Umbra is necessarily alive, but I feel like it's important that there are people there to remember. And if there's no living to remember, that's just tragic. And then all of a sudden, everyone that's passed is alone, truly alone, because we'll be shattered.
It's really deep.
So that's my answer, Shuvi. And puts a stuffed dumpling in their mouth. And is pretty loud about it because Esper comes from a culture where if you don't eat loudly, it means you're not appreciating your food.
Beautifully
I-
put, Esper.
Snaps for Esper's eating habits.
Pirates also eat pretty loud and messily, whatever.
Yeah, there's a lot of thumbs up. This is actually like the most like not put together thing you've ever seen Esper do. Like he does have like a little
Amazing.
like rag that he's always cleaning his face, but he just eats messily and makes noises.
I approve of this.
Yeah.
Oh, you can go first.
Well, I was actually going to ask, what about the three of you? We're a very ragtag bunch here, but I'm very curious to know where we've all come from.
I'm gonna echo Esper in the I want to live thing. But I also need to fix a problem that I have as well. And she'll just like pull in her tank top just a little bit so you can see there's like scar tissue and there's like a black pearl in her chest, and like it's like a little bit. I'd like to fix this one.
Oh my.
Mhm.
I'm not sure what story that has, but I'm deeply sorry for whatever tragedy you faced.
Thank you. Just cheers with her orange juice.
We'll like pick up an empty glass and just rickettly like cheers. But you, Sonorum.
I will fold out that Memoria shard and go, corruption, heal. Then I point to all of you. I help. You help.
Ooh, a collaborative quest. Seems we've all got something. We've all got the bigger picture on our minds, it would seem. I hope that puts you at ease a little, Juville.
It's just that I wanted to understand your motives, if that makes sense.
Then I shall be forthright as everyone else has been. The dead need a place to go when they pass. And that's what the theatre is for.
What about you?
Oh, me?
No, I assume you're doing it so that the dead have a place to pass to go the theater, keeping that alive.
Well,
Going.
I passed very long ago. I simply work there now.
Wow, that's cool.
Oh, thank you.
Like getting a promotion in the afterlife. That's all right.
You can think of it as something of a second chance. We like to rewrite our stories in the Chronic Theatre. So if there's anything that you didn't particularly like from your life, you can simply write in something new. And that is the performance that you sort of conduct to the audience.
Hmm. All right. Rewriting the narratives. I like it. Chevelle, why have you come on this quest?
Oh, I'm very curious.
He simply takes out the letter and puts this folded crumple of a thing in the middle so that everyone can take and read it. And basically saying like, yeah, if there is if they succeed on the mission, he has the chance to see one of the Angela, remind me please.
It is basically, there is a possibility to try and return you to your form.
Yes.
It is why, like,
Yes.
that's a very big disclosure to do, that if you are still okay with doing that, is that
Hmm.
it does indicate you are not in your original form is the big thing that the letter would indicate.
Yeah.
Which is why you
Oh.
having that's why it was delivered specifically to you. So if you are still comfortable sharing that, just bear in mind that that means everyone does know you are not in your original form.
Yeah. He
Oh.
definitely knows this. It's just like it's easier to show that letter than explaining anything. And then he removes one of the gloves that he has on his hands. And basically what you can see is that the fingers are kind of like kind of turned black. So and he will just say like, I need my old body back. This one is too weak.
Oh.
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 Then he puts
Oh, no.
the glove back on.
I see.
I understand
Okay.
that on a very real level.
Then taking the letter back and putting it somewhere again.
Well, I'm a healer in my community. Until we get I'm more than happy to help, and I am more than happy to help keep you strengthen this form until we get you into the form that you want for yourself, that you need for yourself. Clarity of purpose and is something I can relate to. And I will help you as best as I can on this journey.
All of you brave souls. It brings a tear to my eye to see such incredible people I'm surrounded by right now.
Well, I feel like if this was a different kind of story, Mother Mercy, if this was the kind of story where, I don't know, our whole world wasn't on the verge of complete collapse, there'd be more time to let things breathe and character development and other things, not to get too meta with it, says as he
Just looks at the
Stu.
camera, the opposite.
Breaking the fourth wall is one of his
Holds a stare
superpowers.
with the lens for 5 unbroken
I'm not
seconds.
making you Deadpool, Hector.
Uh,
You Deadpool in this
yeah,
universe. I
but-
swear to God.
no. But I just I wish we had more time. You're all very extraordinary people, but we don't. I'm finished eating. Jenna, are you done?
Well,
Or do
Jenna's
you
not
need more
done.
time?
More
Oh,
might
it's
be
not. No,
done.
excuse me. More. More. Are you done?
Once again, the fourth wall breaking powers are
Yeah.
Fourth wall break.
with everything.
Entirely by accident.
Uh,
Are you done?
More just grabs like I don't know, a roll or something and like I can eat on the go. It's fine.
It's a long trip.
Yeah, there's
Take everything you can, and I actually help Jenna like grab like
Jenna or more.
sorry, more.
I don't know.
I have more like kind of like I want to break the trope. I want to break the it's only the rogue that's still like it's gonna be the paladin and the rogue both being like, all right, we're taking our food. This is everything we can take on the road, and because I think we both want real food.
Yeah, Mother Mercy does no, Mother Mercy. Fuck, now I'm getting names confused. God damn it, Hector.
Sorry.
I had to take a second to go through the Rolodex of names currently in my head to find which one it was. Camellia does leave you. If you're interested, there is a kind of like a basket that is covered over to keep them warm. There are, I guess, the best way to describe them is they're kind of like meat turnovers, and that they're like a football shaped kind of pastry and dough. It's very delicious, but there's sort of a twist tie all across in terms of the dough, all across the top part of it. And it's filled with, if you ever bite into one of these, it's filled with what feels kind of like a stew that has chicken, egg, peas, and if you are so inclined, olives. I do not have them with olives because olives are an abomination to me, but that is me. I do not care for olives. And I'm sure our producer Aida knows exactly what I'm referring to when I describe this. So I'm sure at some point hear screaming of happiness from our producer, but that's just me doing things for her.
Already written on my character sheet.
But also, before carrying on, in terms of marking something for everyone, if you have engaged throughout that conversation with either any of your bonds or your values, please make a note of it and mark your tracker. Just to keep that in mind, because we will need that afterwards, because that is something where, in terms of helping determine your experience that you get throughout sessions, that is effective for doing that. But I would say at the very least, Esper and Juville have done that, because I know Juville's just by asking, that's already an engagement with something that he's trying to handle. But carrying on, the main route out of this layer up into the next one is again the sort of stag beetle tram system that has been established here and across all of the interconnected layers, that has enough room where you do see that there is a crowd of folks who are beginning to take the tram up to the next one, and you see a familiar face, Esper. You do see Percy from the previous day, the sort of transmask dragonkin individual.
Oh,
Who is there, and like, probably if anyone else takes a look, like notices Esper and then immediately like looks away, and
Yeah.
also if sees Mother Mercy, also immediately looks away.
I'm gonna go and take a seat or next to them, or is it like a
Yeah.
standing platform? Yeah.
There
Oh,
are
it's
there's a range of it. The platform itself is it's accessible for people of various kinds of mobility. Like the ground literally reshapes around it to rise up, and then it's like, think the way that ski sort of like platforms like sort of flow up.
Yeah.
It's long sort of cables of magically enchanted vines and thread and like metallic threads that have been put together that sort of rise up and open into another layer.
Oh, okay. And then the stag beetles like
They are
on
the ones
top
who
of
have
them?
actually like carved out portions of between the layers to actually open up. That's
Oh, so
like the
they're
beetles
not
are the burrowers. They're not necessarily the ones taking you like on the platform. They're the
Okay.
burrowers, but they're part of the maintenance
Cool.
crew.
Okay.
So
I
there's
just
folks who are literally like, if there's points you're seeing construction for the tram like cables, you
yeah.
will see like a massive stag beetle just go over there hanging down while the person is fixing like the cable and is
Oh,
working on
that's
it, or you see someone like using forms of aerogy, so like aeromancy, so like air magic, being like, no, just over
that
here, just a little over,
that
little
is
over. Just,
that is so cool.
oh, for
Uh
fuck's sake! Just you see someone
yeah.
do a whole like wind current upwards. I swear to God, it gets worse every day.
I will like take an area, occupy space next to Percy, and be like, "Oh, are you accompanying us on this adventure?"
No, I just I had a relative who invited me to a theater performance that was going to be happening soon.
Well,
Here's
that
Bo, at
sounds
the theater.
Oh,
exciting.
Mother
I
Mercy,
mean, that
hello,
is,
hello.
Let's get on over.
you know,
Hi.
Mother Mercy, Sonorum, Juvie, more. I think we should investigate that certain individual
Absolutely.
at
Yes.
the theater, and the theater is on the way up, right? Correct? At least from
Yes.
here. Yeah. So I say we have does everyone else agree? Because you know I'm very big on consent. I don't want to just
Follow, I will
it's
say.
all right, let's follow our
Sure.
lead.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to spending some more time with you, Percy.
Oh, it was, that's very kind of you to say. I would also
Can I make an empathy skill
Yes.
check
You,
to try
yes.
and like calm them?
Yes, draw
Okay.
draw an amount of cards equal to your skill level on
Okay.
empathy,
I just have
and then
one.
tell me which one you're going to use.
Okay.
So tell me what you draw first.
Oh,
'cause you
I
won't-
drawed an ace.
Okay.
Oof.
Oh, no.
This is my real life efforts
It's
happening
okay.
for these
It's
sorts
okay.
of things.
The
So
cards are
you
telling a
drew
story.
an so you drew an ace.
Yes.
Now that's not the one you have to use, but no matter what, there is still going to be a tragedy that occurs. So there will be an extra complication in the narrative. You are going to mark your omen tracker. And which card are you playing of the ones that you drew?
That's the problem. It's the only one I drew. I only have empathy one.
Oh, ooh, so so you gain a potential. That's a nice thing. You gain potential to use for later. So let me and be sure if you haven't already mark your omen tracker, because that brings an omen closer. So here's
Yeah,
the
I
thing.
just did.
If you haven't picked up on it, Percy, pardon, is very skittish around people. Mercy is not skittish around people whatsoever. Percy is very skittish around people. And being near, in particular, Mother Mercy, and then seeing you being so close to him, he just sort of seizes up entirely. And he does one of these where he just goes rigid. He stands up and he walks over to another part of the platform and he just sort of turns his back and but as you walk away, all you see is that his face is flush and he does not say anything else.
More will if he like strolled over to like her end of the, she will offer him a drink of her flask. Just like but not
Thanks.
say anything, just hold it out like an offering.
Okay, the additional complication that we'll tack onto that is that he just grabs it, downs it entirely, and gives it back to you, and then just walks over. And you notice there's slight wobbliness to him walking, because I forgot to mention he's a lightweight. Like he's a real lightweight.
I'm just gonna. I will look over to Mother Mercy and be like, "Was it something I said?"
No.
It's the mask, isn't it? It's a little impersonal.
I have empathic presence as a passive ability. I can like sort of read the room in this situation, right?
I would say so. If it's a passive, then yeah, you have a sense of it. What would you like to know?
Does Esper have a shot with this person?
Yes, very much so.
Asking the obvious questions here. No, I'll just like comfort Esper and say like, no. Some people are just very overwhelmed when confronted with sort of an object of their desire first thing in the morning. So I would say just let them cool off a little bit and try another approach.
All right. Well, do you think you could secure me backstage passes to whatever show that they're going to?
You are talking to the right person. Absolutely.
Ah,
I'll talk to Sawyer when we get there.
okay. All right. And then he just sort of sits back, glowing about. He's allowing himself to just be distracted for a moment in this crush.
You would all notice, everyone but Esper. I'm gonna make this part because it was a big failure. Everyone but Esper would probably notice that there is at least a couple of points during the ride up to the next area, to the next layer, that Percy does do one of these of like he kind of like leans, like creaks his head to like try and look at Esper. But like anytime any of you happen to spot him doing that, he does a big like hiccup and then he just immediately turns back. He's just like, nope. I have failed in interactions. I have failed in peopling today. Can't do it anymore. So it carries on pretty Besides that, nothing eventful happens.
Every time he looks in that direction, I give him like a little wave, like, "Hey."
Yep. Just turns.
Oh, precious.
So precious.
I wrote terror and fear into this session, and we started with you overwhelmed with gay. I feel like this is what's going to keep happening without me trying. But
Oh, yeah.
no, carry on, carry on.
As we are moving up, I will like lean over to Esper, who seems like very happily lost in their own world. Just if you'd like, I can try to speak to this Percival fellow to see if we can lower the tension of the cart ride. Maybe you could get to talking to them, get to know him as we're riding up.
I think that's an excellent idea.
Mother Mercy like can read the
Start
room, but has
not.
not clocked that she's part of the problem.
Yeah, neither have I.
Right.
We're just gonna lean into that ace.
High charisma, low insight.
Absolutely.
The definition of high charisma, low insight for both of you.
I knew I should have increased my empathy, but I increased my observation instead.
You made a decision. You made a bold decision, which is what all players should do.
And what I'll do is, Mother Mercy will like make herself look smaller. I think in part, like some of her limbs quite literally retract. But she tries to sort of like, you know, make herself less of a presence in the cart ride as she sort of like looks over and approaches Percival. And I'd like to use a sort of presence skill to sort of try to comfort them and try to make this like this environment more welcoming to him.
Yes, feel free. Draw equal to your skill level. Tell me what you draw. If there's an ace in there, I'm gonna laugh so much.
I know. Okay, so I drew 2. First one's a 4, second one's a 2. I think they're both failures.
That's both failures. Both failures. This is amazing.
Incredible. At least I get a potential though. That's pretty cool.
You do get a potential. So there was no ace drawn, so there is no tragedy that occurs. But given the 2 cards you have drawn, there is a failure with the complication.
So sorry for making this worse, Esper. Yeah, she'll like approach like hi. So I saw that you were looking at like a little too loud. I saw that you were looking at Esper over there, and look,
I wasn't looking at Esper. I don't have a crush on them. I don't know what you do.
Oh no!
I'm gonna get off here at this one. Gets off an entire layer early. Because you're going up to the theater company where the layer where the theater company is, gets off an entire layer early. The next tram is not for about 2 hours.
No.
Juice probably sits right beside Sonorum, and he just mumbles, "The longer I watch this, the more embarrassing it gets."
You just hear a
Lauren's rifling through her bag. Like, I can't do this sober. There's too much awkwardness in this part. Just play it cool. Like, play it cool.
So
like, chill out.
Percy just gets off early. I'm gonna rephrase that. He gets off the tram early.
Crazy.
Oof. 1 and 3. Anyways. This is what this session is gonna be. Damn it. So he gets off the tram early and he just sort of waves like, I wish you well. I wish you well.
You can stay. I'm
Pulls up
sorry.
the flask and takes his shot. Like, just
He
All right,
takes the
Brooke.
second flask. He doesn't give it back, by the way. The impact of this is
I
that
am going to be so
Moore has lost 2 flasks. The complication isn't that Mother Mercy has something bad happen to her. It's that Moore loses
The
another
bad luck is
flask.
spreading. Oh no.
I have to be sober. What?
As long as it doesn't happen when we're battling like world-ending threats, I think I'm okay with this.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, you just kind. I think Moore and Mercy, you both hear like just sort of said, just like, I think I'm going to need this more than you will. Take care.
Don't drink too much. You might puke. Nobody likes a puker.
It's better than like as you're going away. It's better than feelings.
Oh,
That's a fair point.
They might throw themselves off a cliff at this point.
I will admit, I think I could
I
have handled that
mean,
one better.
Whoa.
Just look. I can't change my facial expression, but if I could like present sadness to Esper, like it's just I'm so sorry for that.
Oh, what happened?
I don't know.
Gosh, I guess he's just really nervous.
You know, well, if we see him at the theater, I'm sure we can smooth everything over with some backstage tickets, maybe an interview with some of the actors. I don't know.
I think that would be, yeah, that'll be great. That'll be great.
How much of a feeling do I have? Like from the like I would use the observation. How much of a feeling do I have that this will be a horrible idea?
More
You
debates
know
hyping
what?
up the bad ideas.
You know what, Juvil? Let's make this a skill check because I
Okay.
want to see how much worse this can get. I want to know. So draw
Yes.
equivalent to your observation. So draw a number of cards equal to that.
Okay. I got a 10.
Oh, so you have more than the other two. So so playing this will get you that is a success.
Oh, nice.
So despite not really interacting with people, it's that much by choice. Well, sometimes you interact with people. You have picked up enough that Percy has the look of someone who's like, if I stop existing right now, that would be great. Just not forever, just for a couple of minutes. Because I have been perceived in a way that I did not want to be, which is at all. You get that sense of the situation. So yes, you have a strong inclination that if he were to receive any additional attention from either of these two, it would be too much for him.
I had a public confrontation with somebody with anxiety. That's yeah.
If you both, like looking to Mercy and Esper, carry on with your idea, this person might throw them off a cliff for real.
Oh no.
Oh. Oh,
Have
was
you
he
ever-
embarrassed?
Have you ever like been around like a really scared animal?
Yeah.
Like don't make eye contact.
Do little public
No
animals count?
head-on like approaches. You know, like
Oh.
yeah, you have to wait for them to come to you. Like, you know, that's what you want to do.
Oh.
People skills from Moore. This is her trying to teach you people skills. It's not great.
This is amazing.
I'm having a masterclass with more right now.
I love that it's Juvil and War having to explain to the two of you how to people correctly.
Yeah, we're the social ones.
We're big personalities, you know.
Yeah.
Some people
Oh.
have anxiety, and that's like, you know, being a scared animal, and like you don't want to back them into a corner or anything, or bad things gonna happen. No
Oh.
direct eye contact, you know. You just play it cool. Let them
Well,
come to you.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a good thing I don't have any eyes then. That could be a bonus.
Mm.
Okay, well that's good to know. Thank you so much for the advice. It's been a while, I think, since I've gotten out of the theater, so it's terribly difficult to interact with people.
We all have off days, you know.
True, true.
Yeah, I'm usually really good with people. I think this one I just sort of.
Oh, swing and a miss. Every dog has its day, though.
Sonorum holds out both hands, and from their fingers, they plop a single rock onto Mother Mercy and Esper's lap.
Oh.
And you can see there are like 2 eyes painted onto it. Practice.
I need a minute.
Perfect.
What just happened? Wait, a rock with eyes painted on it.
With 2 eyes like dug into it because
Yeah, like a
Sonorum
little
goes-
face.
Yeah,
Like a little face. And
a rock face.
Use this to practice being a person with.
Hello.
This is the best ever.
My
The
name is
rock
Mary.
person and
What's
The
the
rock
two
person, the
and the two-
intentional loader, and the bipanic chaos pirate are having to instruct the community advocate and the theater performer how to be people. This is truly what a TTRPG experience is. Not an Aether,
I
just
just-
TTRPG experiences in
Yeah,
general.
I just
This
look
is
at the
Rich
rock
Danilo.
and I say, and I just go like, "Hello, my name is Esper, first guardian of the Sun Gardens. I'm here to help."
That's too much. You're doing too much. Do less. Do less.
Less.
Yeah, no looking in the eyes of the rock. No eye contact. Just do this. Watch. Stop.
Somewhere far off in the distance, someone by the name of Yorick feels like the hair on the back of their neck raised. They don't know why.
Ooh, I love Hamlet.
I have this mental image of Esper talking to this rock, having like this brilliant smile, and somehow there's like this small glittering on his white teeth, like as if it's like the sun exploded.
Yeah.
Oof.
What? is
Yeah, I
up?
think Gertrude and I are just gonna like do improv games with the
Yeah.
the rock that
By the
Sonorum
way,
give us.
there are other passengers on this tram.
This is
that They're
amazing.
straight up just looking at this like, what the fuck is going
Oh,
on?
would you like to join in? We're doing a little game right now.
I think we're gonna entertain the rest of the tram with like
This was meant to be an instruction for the two of you to work on peopling, and you both turn it into a performance for the rest of the tram.
It's rock puppets.
Oh God.
Enter act 1, scene 1, enter stage left. Esper.
yeah.
More just like shakes her head. Thinks sadly about the flask that's gone. Looks off into the distance.
Oh my god, Jesus Christ. Oh, I got a good laugh out of all of that. Thank you, everybody. Continuing the narrative forward, you do arrive at the layer where the tram opens up into. It feels closer. It feels like a combination of like a concierge desk and like the like opening reception area to a theater itself. Because the theater, like actual space, is pretty much the entirety of the layer itself. Like this is a massive place of like various departments, various performances happening at any given time. But for some reason, right now, there seems to be a lot of hubbub going on just everywhere. Just people roaming around. There's a whole bunch of like strands of what look like glittering gold sequins and such on different outfits, strands of like white crystals that are like sewn into like different like hems of skirts and such, and like brooches that have various colored jewels on them. There are people in any number of different outfits here, just everywhere, anywhere and everywhere. And the main themes you see in terms of jewels on this layer are elements of pale lilac and reddish purple amethyst, honey yellow opals, and malachite, so banded opaque greens of the people's bodies themselves if they happen to have crystals on them. But more and more of these outfits seemingly are leaning towards lighter tones and towards white. And you see that there's seemingly a whole bunch of different like flyers and everything just showing like a big performance is about to be coming within the next few days. Like a massive operatic like performance is in the midst of production.
And I would like have some awareness that this is like something I probably also helped work on before I started with this adventure.
This one is new to you because remember when you all went down to the layers,
True.
that took those some manner of weeks before that happened.
Gotcha.
So it's been a little bit of time with making the journey. So this is one you are not aware of. You would know the people around here, obviously, because this is your home layer. So you could like touch upon different bonds and such that you have with, for example, Sawyer. You could try and like figure out like where is Sawyer in the midst of all this.
Could I know this is gonna sound a little unorthodox. This is kind of the theater kid in me talking, but can I make an observation skill check to see if the vibe is like Kiss Me Kate, another opening, another show, where everyone's kind of scrambling and this is just business as usual? Or is this Masquerade from Phantom of the Opera where everyone is scrambling for a big show, but there's something sinister behind it?
Ooh.
Does that make sense?
Yes. I like
Okay.
this. I like this thought. If
Okay.
anyone else has anything else that they would like to try and discern from the audience using what they have or just people
Yeah.
around, feel free to make use of that.
How do our cooperation rules work in Aether? Because I feel like it would be appropriate for me to work with the rest of the group on this.
I will put it, I believe this is the official rule, but this is also how I'm going to rule it for this one, is
Mhm.
if someone else does a successful skill check, I will give you a +1 to that.
Okay.
But it would
Okay.
depend on what they're doing.
Okay.
I'll like acquaint people with like what I'm familiar with, like all of our group here. So like, you know, here's what it's usually like when we've got a big performance going on. Like, oh, there's like Jane Doe over there like helping out with like some of the costumes or like whoever have you.
She is a literal fawn dress assistant.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yep.
So like I'll just sort of like give them the rundown of like what it's like actually working here at the theater, so they have a good idea of like
Yeah.
what to look out for.
Yeah.
I will be sort of like taking in the energy of the crowd to try to read the general mood of like everyone with my 2 empathy.
I want you to do yours separately from Esper.
All right.
This is different. Yours is different because it's very empathetic, whereas yours observation based.
Yeah, mine is definitely observation.
I will give Esper +1 to that from Mother Mercy's contacts, but Sonorum, I want you to do yours separately, and this will be the last big thing before we move into our break.
All right.
So we're already at the halfway point, everybody, because you all laughed so much, we ate so much time. But
I rolled a 4 and 3.
I would also do observation, but more on the base level, since my character has no clue, interaction, or anything with the theater beforehand. So it's basically like to see who is basically chatting with whom, like just on the base lines.
So here's how we'll do it. Okay, Mort, did you have something as well?
Yeah, I was going to be looking for either the creepy banshee that I saw in the memory, the one who sort of resembles the banshee but wasn't a banshee.
Gertrude.
Or Gertrude. Like I'm specifically looking for people that I think are involved. Like I'm that's what my observation would be like, is specifically looking for the
I'm going to do everyone. This will be a whole round of stuff. So basically I'll have it from everyone but Mother Mercy. Mother Mercy's support to Esper will give Esper a +1 to the draw. Everyone draw cards equivalent to what your skill level is on the skill that you're using. And I will get to you one at a time because I need to know what the results are to see if your omen tracker increases or not. So Esper, what did you draw?
Okay, so I got an extra draw from Mother Mercy, right? Okay,
Yes.
it is not good. It's a 2, a 3, and a 4.
Oof. Yeah,
But
those
they're
are
all
gonna,
spades.
yeah, those are all going to be failures or complications. So you will get a potential.
Oh no, I just realized something. I did not shuffle my deck. Oh.
Shuffle it,
explains
redraw.
it.
Yeah. That
everyone
explains why. Okay.
Shuffle your
Okay.
deck. It doesn't
I'm so
apparently doesn't do that
sorry.
automatically. No, it's fine.
Okay,
This is
one.
why the rules are a framework. They're not an edict.
Yeah. Okay. So I got king, 6, and 6.
You drew a
So
king. Okay.
yeah. So I'll choose the
So
king. Oh no.
so
Wait,
okay.
wait.
So no matter what, you are going to get a triumph because you got a king during the skill check. So
Oh.
you get to
Okay.
determine which of these you want to be your benefit. Do you want a perk, which lets you do an extra cool thing for free, or ask the narrator for extra information, or a cascade, which would let you do more stress? So I think perk is most relevant. So it's a matter
Perk
of,
is
do you want
most
an extra
relevant.
cool thing, or do you want more info from me?
I want more info from you.
Okay, so you're looking for just, does it seem like everyone's in the usual hubbub, or is it extra like something's amiss?
Yeah, like I said, masquerade versus another opening, another show. It's two
This
different vibes.
to anyone who isn't used to working with a lot of people, this would seem like, oh yeah, this is theater company just in the midst of a lot of hubbub. There's a tension in the air. It's very faint, but you don't know why it is. But you have a clear sense that, like, folks, because of the marionette faces of a lot of the folks who are on production and like part of the cast, it's easier for them to hide it, but it's not impossible to discern. And there's something off that you know.
Yeah.
Sonorum, what did you draw?
3 and 4.
3 and 4. Okay. Those are failures. You will get a potential, regardless of which one you play. So
Yeah.
you really don't have a sense of, this is a very different group of folks than you've ever interacted with, and like it's hard to tell whether the rush of activity is just kind of people being excited, people being anxious or nervous. It's hard to parse. So yours doesn't really, unfortunately, get you anything. Juville, what did you draw?
5.
Weird. Well, that's a partial success. So you were just looking around to see, just in general, correct?
Yeah, just
sort
in
of-
general to like to see, okay, yeah, to just have a general overview over the situation, what is going on.
You do see the assistant director is Gertrude the Gentle. And she has also noticed you. That is the complication. She's aware that you're here now. More? What did you draw?
I drew an 8 and an ace.
So you were going to have, no matter what, you're going to have a tragedy. So mark your omen tracker.
Mhm. The tragedy is that the rum is gone. That's the tragedy.
If you
I'm just
play the
kidding.
8, so you, do you want to play the 8?
Yeah,
This
I'm
is a
gonna
better
play the
result.
8.
So
yeah.
you see Sawyer, you see everyone else. As much as they're trying to hide it, there is a very clear sense of fear
Mhm.
on all of their faces. And that is where we're going to take a break. We'll be back in about 10 minutes, everybody. So please stay tuned, as I'm sure more hilarity is going to follow from the entire group landing in a lair where the entire theater company is scared shitless right now. So love you viewers who've been staying with us, or if you've just joined. So we'll see you in about 10 minutes, everybody. Hello again, everybody. Thank you for being here with us on Horde of Tales for Aether Seekers of the Heart, our Aether RPG series that we're doing here. Welcome to the second half of this session titled Form the Piercing Fear, which the party has now maybe gotten a small taste of as bringing us back into the fold of things. The group has just arrived to a busy mess of a theater that forms the entirety of this layer in Umbra, and from their keen observations have gotten the sense that there is a palpable feeling of fear amongst so many members of the cast and stage group here, and also that Gertrude the Gentle has taken notice of the group. As of yet, you have not encountered Sawyer, but that could very easily be remedied. But in light of your observations, what does the group decide to do next?
I very quietly inform the rest of the group, using the fact that my mask has no mouth, to just sort of whisper to everyone in the group the vibe that I'm getting. And what I'm seeing.
I'm mostly looking for everyone else's like intel and responses first, and just sort of taking that in.
The vibes
Yes.
are definitely off.
This Gertrude person sauce.
Ah, good. Perfect. Should we split up and do reconnaissance, or what do you all think is best? Mother Mercy knows this.
I
place
start marching
best.
straight towards Gertrude.
Oh, all
with
right, the direct
purpose.
approach.
Bold
All right.
decisions.
I think it's in our best interest to make sure that this doesn't escalate, so perhaps we should join them. And I'll help them to Esper.
And I just like put myself in front of Gertrude and directly in her path.
Hello, dearies. Hello there, Mother Mercy. It seems you've come back with some lovely friends.
Gertrude, it's so wonderful to see you again. When I
Yes.
spotted you at the ceremony, I was incredibly disappointed that you left so quickly in such a rush before we were all attacked. Could you explain that?
Oh,
I
dear.
apologize. I have not introduced myself. I am Esper, first guardian of the Sun Gardens, which feeds quite a bit of the individuals here in Umbra. And I am here on behalf of all of Umbra to question you.
I'm
Mother
staying a bit
Mercy,
away.
Mother
Yeah.
Mercy, your friend has rather a large level of self-assurance, but seems to be operating under misunderstanding.
A lot has happened in the past day and a bit, I will admit, and I do apologize for the presentation with which we are coming to you with. I know I'm just a production assistant here, but what I can sort of give you some more context as to what is happening here. We were attacked by a couple of creatures with crystals embedded in them, and someone happened to mention that you were leaving the scene, and we wanted to sort of ask some clarifying questions, is all.
That sounds perfectly acceptable, and a much more receptive way of opening a conversation. Why don't we sit down? I can invite Sawyer to mediate, just to be safe. Sawyer is very busy with making sure all of this is taken care of, but of course we'll make time for you, Mother Mercy. You are his star pupil, after all.
Aren't we all stars in this theater?
Wonderfully so. And you see that she is like occasionally every now and then like patting like a fine like neck, almost kind of like a brooch or necklace, like all across, that's like very beautiful, a bunch of different jewels of opal and malachite on it. And
Why are all these people afraid? I just say that out loud straight to her face.
okay.
Moore grabs some rations out of her bag and just starts like
Mother Mercy, I have the utmost respect for you. However, I find that sunlight is an incredibly purging force when it comes to hidden corruption. So I would be more comfortable if you answered these questions transparently in public, not in private. Or I'm going to start asking these people that are all afraid why they're afraid.
Just looking to Gertrude, like,
I would like
don't
one
know.
of you to make a skill check using one of your abilities. And this
I-
was,
Okay.
and this is moving into what is going to be called a social encounter.
Ooh, okay.
This does not come
Angela,
to
I
blows
just
or anything of the sort.
I want to check in with you.
Yes.
Are you okay with me
You're
being
good.
this aggressive?
You're
Okay.
good.
I want to make sure.
Don't worry. I haven't been aggressive in return just yet.
Okay. Ooh, okay.
Just
worry.
yet.
And is everyone else
Wait
okay
for
with my
it.
character being this
Yeah,
direct?
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I'm double checking in because I will rein it in at any time anyone feels like, ooh, hey, let's
But
pump the
this
brakes.
is, so this is a social encounter. This
Okay.
is possibility of 3 successes and 3 failures. You will steer the conversation in something that lines up more in your favor if you achieve the 3 successes. If you achieve the 3 failures, something not in your favor will happen. But you do not know what she is afraid of. You do not know what her motive is. You do not know what her intent is. These are all things that you can try and discover either through choice of words or through other observations of her behavior, and anyone can participate. But I would like one of you, Mother Mercy or Esper,
Mhm.
to make a skill check to see how those words, the first set of words exchanged in the conversation, register.
Okay.
I will say, in this moment, Mother Mercy is too rattled to really make an action here. So if you're happy with that, Hector, I'm happy to leave the first action to you.
Yeah, from what I'm to understand, even though it's a combat ability, it also covers the domain of intimidation. Wrath does,
Okay, that makes
because
perfect sense to me.
yeah.
So
So I
draw
think
for
like
wrath.
yeah, I'm gonna draw for Wrath, which is 3 cards. Because while I'm not mad at the group, I am a little mad at this person. Okay. 7 Queen and King.
Which one are you going with? You drew a king, so that is going to be, this will be a success no matter what. But
Okay.
which one are you going with? And there is going to be a triumph. So I will be giving you either extra information or something else as part of your skill check.
Just to keep it simple, I'm just gonna go with the King
Okay.
because I'm pretty flush on potential right now.
Okay.
Okay.
So do you want more info or do you want something else to come of this skill check?
I want something else to come of this skill check.
Okay.
Um,
You do see her. Now, I don't think we need to come to sharp words here. I do not mean anything by trying to make this private. I simply prefer to have Sawyer as a mediator. He's well respected, well loved, and very much more than capable of ensuring should anything cross be said, that it will not be taken too personally. But you do notice that as she says that, there is, however faint, a slight quiver in her voice. There is an element of the facade breaking just a fraction. That is one success. Who would like to follow that?
I look to the other 3.
Can I do an espionage check here?
That actually, I like that. That would be appropriate, I think. Yeah, because if you're not trying to look at her, but if you're trying to get info about something else around it, it depends what you're trying to do. Just tell me what you're trying to do, and we'll see what.
Yeah, I'd like to pick up on any like information. I don't, maybe not even like focusing on her so much as like maybe listening to other people in the crowd and like trying to pick up bits because I feel like she's not giving a ton of information. There's that quiver in the voice, but she's not really saying much on her end of things. So I'm
Okay.
maybe using my big hearing to like zone
Opposed to
into
little
other
hearing.
conversations. Yeah.
Draw for espionage. Tell me
Okay.
what you draw.
All right. And do I draw 3 cards or is it just the 2?
It's equal to your skill level.
Okay, so 2. Okay, so I got a 9 and a 2.
Okay. If you're
So
using the 9.
yeah,
So using the 9 will get you partial success.
yep.
So you can choose to bank either the 2 or 9 for later.
Bank the 2 for later.
Okay. So with doing that, here's what your partial success will be. This will get you a success on it. You get the sense that you're not trying to watch her specifically, but you have seen her delicate hands, like these very like just like weird spindly kind of fingers. Like she's just been like, please. But you do see like one finger like make like a slight gesture,
Mm-hmm.
and you are noticing that there are other members of the theater company that are surrounding the group. It's very faint. They it just looks like it's hubbub and like people are still moving to like get to their places, but you have had this experience enough with your
Uh-huh.
training to know when people are moving with intent versus moving for aggression. And you get the
She's-
sense that there are people who are going to be who are watching you all right now.
Subtly is going to like elbow whoever is next to her to like point out the fact that they're kind of being surrounded and boxed in. Like as subtly as she can, but like getting the point across that like there's some movement around us that seems intentional. So it's probably Sonorum or Jubo.
Sonorum?
Yeah. Yeah, you elbow me is just like I don't budge, but I do feel it. And do you like, is it just a elbow or do you like convey
Yes.
like the
I'm
head
like
movement?
yeah, with a little head movement or like, you know, my eyes going to like the movement around us, like just kind of.
All right. It takes a while for Sonorum to, as a being with no eyes, it takes it takes them a while to sort of like figure out what you meant. And when Sonorum notices it, they will straighten up to make themselves a bit bigger and make eye contact with make whole contact, I guess. You know, it's just like
Yeah.
to the closest individual of these closing in potentially hostile people and just stare to show, I see you, try something and find out.
I'm gonna follow suit and I'll turn like outwards so I'm looking at them and so my back is to my friends, kind of like getting back to back, ready for don't know, is this social combat or whatever? I don't know what we're doing.
It's a matter of it could escalate, but you have 2 successes right now.
Yeah.
Someone want to try to get the third?
I don't know. Yeah, Mother Mercy is like sort of freaking out at the back and forth between new friends, my colleagues, and old friends are fighting. We'll try to like we'll use her empathy to try to disarm this, de-escalate the situation, like appeal to her camaraderie with Gertrude, and just say, hey, you know, why don't we all take a second to breathe, calm down, you know, get Sawyer, of course, wonderful mediator, but if you could at least like tell us a little bit about what's happening right now. You know, we're helpers, not from the theater. I would never do anything to put this place in harm. That's my I can draw
All
2
right.
from that. Yeah.
Draw for your empathy.
Okay, that's gonna be 2. One of them's an ace, and the other's a 9.
Oh fuck.
Okay. So with the ace, So I assume you're going to play the 9.
I'm going to use the 9, but I will bank the ace.
Okay, you're banking the ace, so that will be a partial success. So you mark your omen tracker because you did play an ace, but you're using the 9.
Mhm.
Do you want? Yeah, and there's going to be an extra complication in the narrative. You succeeded, so your comments de-escalate things, and you see her just hold up her hands, and Sonorum, you would notice that the folks start backing off and they just go back to like in the midst of their flurry of activity. It's like perhaps tensions and emotions are a bit too high today. Why don't we convene at another time to have this with Sawyer, a public forum of some kind, so that it is not entirely private, but just to have Sawyer as the mediator. Is that acceptable?
I will look to everyone else to see how they feel about this.
We're on a time crunch here, saving the entire mountain or whatever. So like as soon as possible would be great. Like
Yes,
but we're just kind of
later,
like
later this evening, of course.
yeah. If we could do it tonight, that'd be great.
I don't understand to mediate what.
Oh, just to ensure that if should emotions rise high, that nothing come of it. I mean, we wouldn't want anything to come of it, would we?
And nothing will come of it because everyone is very happy right now.
More tries
you
to
hear
smile, but it looks...
reverberating. You hear reverberating, kind of coming out of the mask because there's snow. You hear, if you have nothing to hide, why don't you just say it here publicly?
I am.
If your fear that what you say is going to incite a potentially...
It's not what I would say, it's what you would say. You've already seemed to have come in with a rather high-strung attitude that I must say does not seem to be warranted given the rudeness you've shown me. And
Our world is on the verge of collapse. You were spotted at the scene of a crime.
you are not the only concern of this world. You are not the only soul who needs tending to. Do you believe that interrupting this performance, of which many souls are at stake, might I add, would be any better than impeding you in your progress, which I am not? You come here making accusations of me, and yet are still expecting help as though your, frankly, self-righteous attitude would win you any favors. I do
Ma'am,
not do kindly to such rudeness. Now please, leave me be, or you will be asked to be escorted out of the theater.
it's at that point I take my staff, slam it on the ground, and trip her.
I want to put myself between
Oh!
Esper and Gertrude.
Oh!
Okay, you do. You prevent that from happening.
Okay.
Juville, by
Mm.
the way, when she responded to you, you saw for the faintest moment the barren, vacant holes of her eyes become reptilian.
Oh no.
You were trying to trip a dragon, man. Oh, we're in trouble now.
Now, please, Mother Mercy, please take your very rude guests. There are you have your own quarters, of course. By all means, take them somewhere away from the theater. Perhaps calm himself before he does something that he will regret.
These people are afraid. I know you have something to do with it.
Esper, I can find
Bring
out.
the head of the theater here now.
I will speak to Sawyer. I promise you.
I will not be moved unless I am being made to be moved.
Gertrude, is it possible I could see Sawyer now?
Of course, dear. Of course.
We'll get this sorted out in a moment. Nothing has to escalate. And we'll see that either something is.
Why are we giving her time to alert her allies and potentially kill us?
We can't interrupt the process of the theater, Esper.
Oh, yes, we can. There's not going to be a world if we don't get this
Esper.
mission done.
Esper, you do see for a moment someone who production is up adjusting some of the light fixtures, and as the spotlight lands on you, you feel overcome with a sense of dread, like you have seen the most terrifying thing in the world. And you feel nothing but a sensation to run away from Gertrude now.
Oh no, oh no.
Just a second. Oh no. This is what I get for picking a fight with the big bad.
That's what you chose. You chose something. You don't.
I chose something.
I will say that this person, whatever is doing this,
Is this magical?
this is a natural ability of whatever is doing this.
Oh, okay.
It is
No,
not
'cause-
technically magical.
Okay, okay.
I would say you spot in the moment before the fear overtakes you, as you look up at the spotlight. The spotlight isn't attached to anything. It's like a shadowy creature whose body is partially containing the spotlight.
Ooh.
Spotlight hits you, you are filled with fear for 2 rounds. This is not combat yet, but just so you know roughly the amount of time, you have nothing but a sense of fear, and you sense it about Gertrude and about being in the spotlight right now. You want to run right now.
Oh my God. What do we do if it's against one of my values? Or one of my goals?
Doesn't
Like,
matter.
is there a
It's
rule that
status effect,
interacts
it
with
beats
that?
you out. Status
Okay.
effect beats that out.
Uh,
The rest of your party just watches as you run.
I am going to scream and start shouting to everyone to run. I'm frightened of Gertrude, so I'm going to react like she's a threat and flee and try and get everyone else in the room to flee with me. Because that is how my character would react to something he is afraid of. He would try to get everyone out while running away. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you all just see Esper, by the way. There's no transition point between this. There is just in the middle of being angry to everyone needs to get the fuck out of here. I am scared out of my mind.
Moore is going to pretend like she didn't notice that might have been Gertrude doing that and be like, wow, he's really having an off day today. And just make it seem like she just is puzzled by his behavior. Just he's off. I don't know.
Angela, do I get the sense at all that like Esper's fears are warranted or concerns with Gertrude?
No.
Okay.
They're not related to Gertrude, oddly enough.
Well, not just the fear, but like the anger prior to that and the...
Gertrude is hiding something.
Mhm.
You have a deep sense Gertrude is hiding something. You don't know what it is.
Like slowly stepping closer to her. And after having seen this very short image or whatever this was, like eyeing her up and down. What are you?
I am simply a performer. I like to sing, and I have been lucky enough to get the lead role. That is all that I am.
Well, break a leg, have a good performance. We'll talk
Thank
after.
you.
We'll
I
regret
so
group.
appreciate that.
I'm very happy to hear your performance. Excited. Yeah.
Thank you. See, someone has been very kind. You have excellent social skills, my dear. I believe you will go far in interacting with others.
Thank you. I've been told that I have a way with people.
It's quite lovely. I'm sure you have many admirers of your own.
Maybe, I don't know. But have a good performance and we'll talk afterwards.
Thank you.
And we'll try to figure out what's going on with our friend. He's really having an off day.
I've
This
gathered
is
as
not
much.
normal. I swear he's just having an off day. This is not.
I've gathered as much.
All right.
Does the group try and like start moving away? I assume to like
Yes.
Mercy's home or place.
No,
Um,
I'm staring at this person. I'm
You're staring at this
intensely
person still?
staring at this person.
Jubel,
because I
Jubel's
know
not
that
moving.
because I know there's something off there.
Jubel.
Oh, this is
My dear,
interesting.
as I said before, looking at Juvel, I'm just a performer.
Energy
Whether or not
God.
I sing songs of love, of romance, of magic, history, of draconic might, such things as all performers do, we borrow the strength of these tales, these songs, these voices. We borrow their strength, and from them we create our own stories.
Come on, let's go find a smoothie or something, Jubel.
Just like, get the fuck out of here. This is not the point to engage. Disengage, everyone, disengage.
I imagine Mort just picking him on his sleeve and dragging him away.
I will also say, Juvel, I will give you, this is for free.
Yeah.
Again, she seems to be constantly going back and just occasionally, like almost like a tick or a stim, touching like the brooch around her neck.
I have an idea, but I cannot do this yet.
The word yet has been doing so much work this session. I love
know.
this.
Yeah, Moore's just gonna be like, maybe a more subtle approach, like observation and like trying to figure out from the crown what's going on. Maybe
I'll figure it out once I'm done screaming.
Yeah, you're about halfway through that fear, buddy, by the way. You're still trying to run away.
Get out!
Met Percy in the other layer. He's just like
Yeah.
run so far and run into Percy.
Oof.
Well, now you're in the
Bounces off
same
that
state
awkward
Percy's
energy.
in all the time, which is both
Oh.
funny and sad.
Oh.
It's like,
Oh.
Sad.
oh, ooh.
Ooh.
But you were
Okay,
able
so we're getting dragged away by more.
by Moore and Mercy to go to Mercy's
Four
domicile,
hands.
whatever it
Yeah.
is.
One on each person. I am pulling you away from the situation. As when we get, I want to take them to like a quiet, like just a corner with like
Yeah.
less eyes, less ears.
Mhm.
Okay, everyone. Terrible introductions, everyone. Just like awful. I get the tram cart thing now. That was very touch and go of them. I understand. We do not have a lot of time, and look, even I will admit that we. Are you okay, Esper?
There
You
was a shadow creature manning a spotlight. Hit me with the spotlight, and I was overwhelmed with soul-crushing fear. I haven't felt this. My face got scorched by a lava heater.
Be
That-
careful when looking into the corners of the theater.
I could have handled that better. I
So-
will admit. It's just I find that transparency is the best weapon against. I need a moment. And I rely on you, Mother Mercy, to take the reins on this. For just thank you.
course. Questions, anyone, first of all?
This
I-
person is not who she pretends to be.
Yeah,
There's something with that brush.
yeah. We should maybe with a little more finesse and tact. And I say this knowing that I am not the most tactful person. That was weird, me having to be the social one, but that was weird, but we pulled it through. But you know, like maybe we could just be like super sneaky right now. Like that's always my like
Can
maybe I could
sneak
sneak around.
the 9-foot tall Sonorum. Can sneak.
Well, there's okay. Maybe I
I-
could go sneak and get information.
I could conjure a creature to sneak.
Everyone is having a lot of interesting ideas right now.
Mhm.
What I will say is, there is someone here that I trust and that we can speak to before we further antagonize the performers of this theatre. Sawyer, the production head, director, just oversees everything.
Sure.
They are someone who speaks their mind, similar
Mhm.
to you, Esper. They will be direct with us. If there's no one else here that we can trust the words of, Sawyer is someone we definitely can.
What if Sawyer is also in a different form?
If Sawyer is not who they appear to be here, then you can all do what you need to do to keep yourself safe. I worry that it will be too late if that is the case.
About this
Oh.
moment that you hear a voice behind you in a different form, whatever could you be? What could you mean by that? And you see the like very bright, ostentatious, flamboyant form of Sawyer just like traipsing up. It's like, hello, Mother Mercy, you have returned on time.
Sawyer,
Hello there. Does the little like cheek kisses, which is very strange imagining this of marionettes doing this. But
Mm.
but like goes through all the pleasantries, and for all intents and purposes, like no skill checks needed, seems to be acting like themselves. Like he is very much not any different than he used to be.
Sawyer, it's even better to see you than it usually would be right now. There's a lot going on here. Oh, first of all, meet my new friends.
Yes. If you are friends with Mother Mercy, then you are already beloved by the theater. I love all of this ensemble, this outfit. Looking at Juville, fantastic. The gloves, decisions, cost. If you've never been involved in costuming, you should be. Fantastic traits you have there. Amazing decisions. Quite stylish. You. Oh, looks at Sonorum. It's like beautiful, gorgeous, wonderful, perfect. Everything about you speaks a story, and I love stories, especially when they're about me. And then looks at Morgan, even more so. Beautiful, gorgeous, wonderful. Everything about you says I'm a mess and I love myself for it, and it's amazing. They're
Mhm.
wonderful. And
It
you
doesn't sound
seem
like a
quite scared out
positive
of your
thing.
mind.
I like
Like-
get up.
It's just been on the ground. Has the Loki smashed by Hulk expression on the face, and he's just getting up.
I'm usually more just kind of adjust himself.
Oh, you're like leans down. Oh, you're quite handsome. When oof, a lot of energy, a lot of charisma and spunk. I love this. Grabs you by the cheeks like an old grandmother does. It's like, oh, lovely, wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
Just imagine your Thea just like grabbing you. It's like, why aren't you eating more? But also don't eat more.
Don't need more.
Every person who's had a Thea knows exactly what that experience is. But for all intents and purposes, just like super happy. Yes, my dear. Lovely group of people. Fantastic. I'm sure they will be wonderful to have for our audience.
Uh, well, we did sort of make a bad first impression with Gertrude, but also I'm told that Gertrude might not be Gertrude.
That's a bit of a harsh thing to be saying to the star of our next production. Then,
I know.
Eyewitnesses saw her
as-
leaving the scene of a crime.
as you know, ignores Esper and is looking at Mother Mercy. As you know, during these very crucial moments, all eyes are on us.
Yes, yes, I understand.
I
And
poke Mother Mercy.
one
I don't
second.
say anything. I
Yeah.
just poke.
No, one second, Esper. Yes, I'm very aware of the importance of this production going through, like every other. But I trust these people here, and this sort of involves the adventure, the quest that I've been tasked to go on. I'm so sorry, Esper. Did you have something you wanted to say?
Could you please repeat what I said to Sawyer? Because obviously he is more interested in listening to you than what I have to say.
No, dear. It's not a matter of not wanting to listen to you. It's just a matter of, we have to go through the schedule and all the details for the upcoming performance. And as I said before, at any given moment, any sign of doubt could be taken as a sign of us not putting in the proper care into this place. And of course,
If
you
you
know
had
how
proper care
badly it
for
can
this
get.
place, you would take what we're saying seriously.
So
And that
We
is
are on
rather,
business of saving
that is,
all of Umbra,
that
not
is
just your
rather,
theater.
that is, once again, I could very easily see why she would have been upset by any of your comments. Your friend does not
She's
understand
a
that, as I said
suspect.
before, all eyes are on us.
Mother Mercy, we should leave. Obviously, Sawyer is not going to help us. Obviously, the show seems to be more important than the fate of all of Umbra. I will make sure to inform every single floor in authority that you have obstructed our sacred quest.
what it sounds like I hear you saying, Soya, is that we have to maintain appearances. But if we were to say, be more subtle about picking up information or
It's best
dealing
to
with the
communicate.
problem.
It's best to communicate much more productively than simply going out
Oh,
forward.
so the only way to deal with criminals on your floor is to act like criminals.
I mean, not to get into the ethics of how I ended up in this position and of this, or of the naivety of individuals who don't understand what a direct approach isn't always necessarily the best one. But setting that aside, there are concerns. I have to take care of the cast as well, considering of the first couple of folks who became sick by nature of having poor sleeping and dealing with something with the sleeping habits. I believe it might have been Julian and Ophelia might be the people to get you more information regarding this. They should be
Okay.
they should be doing better, but I'm running about everywhere trying to deal with all of this mess, and there's really only so much I can say. But fear not, for if you do, that invites much more chaos and much more to fear as a result of that. So take care, watch your fears, and I will be certain to do what I can to ensure that you are well taken care of, as always, Mother Mercy, and that your friends are well taken care of. I
Much
promise you
appreciated,
this.
Sawyer. Thank you so much.
Sawyer does leave.
Yeah. I will turn to Esper.
We need to leave this place. It's not safe. Our enemies know that we're here. We need to go. We're not going to get help here. And I will ensure, as I put my hand on Mother Mercy's shoulder, with the player's permission,
Yes, of course.
that you will be the head of this theater once our mission is done. I've seen nothing but incompetence and evil from the moment I've gotten here.
I think as you say, you'll make Mother Mercy the head, her fear in this sort of awkward exchange turns like a sort of rigid and upright, like defiance almost.
Uh-oh.
Now, Esper,
Okay.
I understand your suspicions for everything that has happened thus far since we've entered the theater, because, as you suspect, there is something very off about this place right now. This place is very important. Not more important than the mountain.
Thank you.
Sawyer is an important individual who oversees a very important transaction from afterlife to undeath. I was created by Sawyer. I only have this chance at my life because of them. I accepted this quest because this place needs to function before and after each and every cycle here in the mountain. By all means, we will look into what Gertrude has done, but do not besmirch the good name of Sawyer.
Okay.
So can I go do some reconnaissance now?
I think that would be a good idea
that would
because
be
Been a
I
lot of people
I
in
don't-
it for me.
I don't think that I'm gonna be able to do any kind of reconnaissance. Not with those. Watch out for the fear spotlights.
Yeah, I'll go check those out.
Watch out for that because I am not besmirching Sawyer's name, but Sawyer did mention them.
Yeah, it seemed like a concern. Maybe you guys should go talk to Ophelia and the other.
Julian.
Yeah, Julianne. That's
I
the
also
one.
just want to note whoever commenting as Horde of Tales in our chat saying, is Esper the community problem? Bless you.
I'm the community problem here.
I just see
Oh,
Esper
God.
breaking out into Taylor Swift's "It's Me."
Okay. So
Okay. Before more trails off, I would like to conjure like a small salamander or something.
yes,
Like you know, just give it to her because I think it can do stuff on its own as well.
oh, I love
mean,
this.
it's like a small minion.
It's a small minion, so it's only
Yeah.
a skill level 1, so it could only draw 1 card to do whatever you need it to do for you, and it's only can take 1 stress, but it's very useful for additional reconnaissance.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Or like
That is
scouting
going-
stuff and
yeah, that is going
Nice.
with you more.
Mm-hmm.
So more, you're wanting to do reconnaissance, correct?
Mm-hmm. So I want to
Okay.
sneaky stealth and
Yes.
start.
So for stealth and such, draw for your stealth, and I'll tell you what happens depending on what you draw.
Mhm.
Kestrel.
Just a way of pointing out to more, hey, here are some good places to like go to if you want, like hide and duck and
Perfect.
cover. Yeah.
I think I think with Mother Mercy's help, I'm gonna let you have a +1 card bonus
Mhm.
because of that. I think
Go for
that
it.
makes sense to me.
Also more for you, this minion of mine, I can telepathically communicate with it, so if there's anything
perfect.
up, you
Yes.
just talk to it.
Perfect. That's good. You're sending your familiar with me. Yeah. All right.
Little fucking ember, elemental of fire, just going with you. Hey, bud. Just
No,
have
it's a
just
lizard.
imagine. Oh, it's a lizard. Oh, that's even cooler. It's a little
Yes.
lizard.
It's a little
Yeah.
lizard.
My head canon is that the little lizard speaks with the voice of Beetlejuice for no reason whatsoever, just because I think that would be funny. Just like the cutest little like fire lizard, and then looks up. Hey, what's up, bud? How's it going?
Yes.
But so more draw for that, and tell
Yeah.
me what you draw.
So I got an 8 and a 10, and then I was supposed to draw
Okay.
1 additional card because I got a
Yes,
or
draw
was
1
it-
additional
okay.
card because
So
of
that's a
Mother Mercy's
4.
help. Okay, so depending on what you want to go with,
I think we'll do a 10 because I feel like we've got we need a little more
a lot of
success
partials, and the
in
partials have been going swingy, which is kind of the idea. But so 10.
Yeah.
You're able to, using Mother Mercy's advice, just scope the theater out, and you
Mhm.
see that there is actually the midst of like sort of a tech rehearsal. Not quite the full dress rehearsal of everything, but just sort of going through all of the like production end, and then kind of getting a general vibe. You see performers, and again, Gertrude is taking the center stage, is performing
Mhm.
this like almost like beautiful aria that is being sung by her, a voice that's seemingly amplified magically across this massive theater. Like not so much black box, think like full massive Broadway performance, but even schwankier, like the thing that full-on operas would be performed in, like of like centuries back, like the most opulent state of, because it's a magical theater, so it can shift to change its appearance, because of course I'm going to give Mother Mercy a magical theater as a home layer, because why not?
Absolutely.
But there's a moment where someone amongst the crew just kind of accidentally like goes on stage at the wrong time and crashes into Gertrude. And she's like very gentle and pleasant about it. And the production person is just like, no, I'm sorry about this. And it's like, dear, no, trust me, it's fine. We'll simply do it again. You've nothing to fear from me. You do have something to fear from that, though. And you watch as she sings, and there's a briefest moment where you hear a sound reverberate out that it faintly sounds almost like a dragon call. It's not from her though. It's in that like it's coming out of her body. It's seemingly coming from the area where the brooch is. And as the person hears it, they collapse to the ground, and almost emerging like kind of violently out of their head, like erupting sort of like a shadow. You see one big paw, another big paw, a massive flame lion of some kind.
Kitty. Sorry.
And there is a moment where the individual is like, no, I promise, I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid. And the lion, the mane, by the way, it seemingly it has human hair forming the mane, and just sort of as it opens its mouth, there's almost like sounds of this stage individual's own voice repeating back, I will never be worth enough. I will never be worth enough. I will always do bad at my job. I will always do bad at my job. You will never make it in this theater. And the beast just pounces on the person. Oh no. Rips them to shreds. And then it disappears. And the person is gone. There's no remains or anything.
That is horrifying.
Now, everyone, why don't we get back to our practice and make sure that we have no other mistakes happen? All right? And there's like, for the people who are around, there is a palpable sense of like, yep, we're going to do that. Yep, that's fine. Yep. But what do you do in response to seeing this?
She just kind of is I mean, she's off in the shadows, watching, and like is like kind of like, ooh, bud, ooh, rough. But she doesn't say that. She's just kind of like, ugh. And then she's going to creep away because she doesn't want to be heard by this woman with the psycho brooch, because that brooch needs a chill pill or something. I don't know, a mood stabilizer up in there. That was a lot. The brooch is a lot. But I'm gonna use a potential to muffle any sounds that I'm making.
Oh, that
which
is
one of my active abilities. Yeah, so
it's a very good call, because I was about to do a skill check, asking for a skill check just to see if you get out fine, but you spent the potential, you got out of there without any difficulty.
Yeah.
You want to leave the lizard behind?
No, I'll have picked up the lizard. You know what? I'll spend another potential so the lizard doesn't make any sound either. Just to be
it's a lizard. What kind of sound should it make?
I don't know. I don't want the scurrying or anything like that.
For all what I know, it can also sleep in your hair. So
Yeah. Yes, it's just hanging out in her braid and her like mohawk, purple mohawk braid. It's like woven in there. Amazing. But I will spend the extra potential because I'm paranoid that I will get eaten by a brooch lion. So
So while that is happening, what is everyone else doing? Because you had the possibility to go try and look for was it Julian and Ophelia? So did you want to do that, or are you just hanging back waiting for Moore to get back? Or are you really doing the split the party thing? Because Moore did go off on her own. That much is confirmed, but what are the rest of you doing?
If everyone else is happy to, I would love to speak to Julie and Ophelia, but I will check with everyone else first, see how they're doing.
You speak with them, find out what you can find out. I'm gonna wait here for more and make sure that they're okay. And then once more gets here, do you want us to wait for you, or do you want us? We'll wait for you to come back.
These theater halls can be a little bit of a maze if you don't know where you're going. So just wait for me.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna stay put. I'm gonna wait for more, and then we will wait for you. I will not leave this area.
Sonora?
I follow.
Good.
Sonorum, please keep them safe.
Yes.
Oh my.
I
feel
will
like a
go
damsel in
with More for
distress.
Mercy as well.
Okay. This comes down to I do need someone to do some sort of skill check of some kind to try and find this person. More specifically, find them without arousing suspicion. This doesn't mean you have to use a stealth one. It just means the complication will be someone else notices.
Unless anybody else wants to do anything, Sonora, do you have any way of tracking?
I'm like so like the tags that is given to empathy is like you can is like reading others and atmosphere and detection. How does that translate in
I would say that would be
gameplay?
appropriate. I would say gameplay that it always comes down to for skills in this system. If you make a good enough like argument for how it applies in the situation, I will let you use it. And I think this is a good case where empathy wise, if Sonorum wanted to be the one to take the lead and be like, I can read who's not immediately hostile or so scared that they don't want to interact with us after what they saw. So I would say Sonorum could, like, because you are a very empathic being, I would say that fits for this situation.
All right, I will do that then. You can hear like the resonant crystal sort of like hums a bit, and I begin to sense.
Could I help by like singing and like doing a tuning fork situation with your crystals?
No, but I appreciate the creativity.
I'll sing and do the tuning fork anyway. I don't need the help, yeah.
But okay.
All right. Oh, that's a 6 and 9. So I'll
Nice.
6 and 9. I think they're both partial success either way, right?
I believe so. Yeah, 9 is the top part of partial success.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just use the 6 for now, and I'll bank the 9.
Okay, so you've banked a 9.
Yes.
So, you bank the 9. So here's the situation. You do see someone is there. Someone passes by the 3 of you and just sort of like, oh, sorry, like bumps into, I'll say, Sonorum and Juville. It's like, sorry about that, and just sort of carries on. But you see, you have a note that's been slipped into your hands. So you weren't able to get a full conversation with them. That'll be the complication, but you get information.
All right. I will hold the note out to Mother Mercy. Read.
Of course.
Yeah, the note. So it's 2 notes, one from Juville, one from Mother Mercy. So the one from Sonorum reads, need to be careful. Performance will hurt people. Get out of here if you can. The other one reads, first came in our sleep, took fears, made them real. All for the sake of beauty, all for the sake of Maximilian.
Very quiet.
You know a person called Maximilian?
You would, Mother Mercy, you would know that Maximilian is the person who Gertrude was infatuated with. You've known, she's a relatively newcomer to the theater company, but you know that the moment she joined, she had nothing but deep affection and adoration for Maximilian.
A one-sided thing, though, right?
It's very one-sided. Very much it's a case of, it's not that he doesn't enjoy her company, it's just he very much sees her as a friend and is not interested in that kind of connection, whereas you've gotten the sense from how she's talked to other people, she's desperately wanting him to love her.
Okay, we should get back to the others. Yeah, no, this is something very, very bad is happening here at the theater.
So does that mean that we can approach her now again, before the performance is happening?
You know what you feel? I think it does. I think we can.
It's about this time Moore would come back. You have the information of what you experienced and what you saw.
Brooch bad, very bad brooch. That brooch summoned a mean cat that ate one of the past production crew.
Oh.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well,
And they're just
then
gone. Bad brooch.
they're just gone.
Yeah, they're just gone.
Like,
Them and the
How?
cat.
how is she hiding that from Sawyer?
I don't know. But it was terrifying. So maybe people are afraid they will also get eaten by some sort of nightmare thing that comes out of the nightmare brooch. That is definitely bad vibes on that brooch.
Was it like Shat that I saw with the spotlight, the tiger lion thing, or was it like?
It was made of flame.
Pretty much.
Oh, it was shadow. Okay. Yeah.
The thing that when it came out of it, it looked like it was like pulling itself out of the body, but the whole thing was made of shadow.
Yeah.
just- Also seemed to have an aura of fire about it.
Yeah. It was shadowy hot.
Shadowy dark or hot. It was hot dark.
Dark hot. I don't
What
know.
was
Hot, dark.
It suddenly
Okay.
became Monster Hearts, and I
Hello,
didn't
hotness,
remember it.
my dark friend.
Right. All right. Then we should be ready for when they come back, because I waited here to make sure you were okay, and I'm glad you are.
Sure.
They're off asking more questions. They're trying to find Ophelia and Paul.
Julian.
Julian and Ophelia.
Wondering how Paul came out of
I
Julian.
don't know.
genuinely
I don't
But
know.
It's right about now. Some time passes and the whole group has reconvened. So you have everyone. You have the information to all share with one another.
Yeah.
And I'll give them that information that we read through. Yeah.
Have I seen Maximilian? Can you point Maximilian out to me, Mother Mercy?
Yeah, they're new, but I think I can remember their face. Yes, I should be able to point them out to you if you can use
Cool,
put your
'cause
spellbook to use.
I could try to take that form and then
Like we know where this post-production is happening right now.
Yes.
So because of what Moore told us, like after sharing information and Moore talking of like, so yeah, kind of a form taking and stuff, Jewel is already heading into the direction like,
wait, we need a
I'm following Jewel.
game plan. Game plan.
Oh God!
I was gonna try to distract her, but well, while you guys attacked and
is.
got the necklace off.
So
but-
Jules gone forward because
All
I will
right.
say more. If you did pass along the info, Jewel does know that the brooch had the sound of a dragon cry as well. You do know that piece of
Mhm.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, this is I part of this is like, yeah, and the other part is like, this is important to Jewel because it involves
Something related to dragon.
something related to dragons.
There's a dragon on the brooch. I don't know.
But I will take Mother Mercy and sort of like bring them along. Like I don't, and I'm like, no, this is important. And also Mother Mercy, you get this look in the eyes and the mask that's like, this is your moment to talk us out of it.
He
Do
doesn't.
it.
Mother Mercy,
Yeah.
you
She
have the
does, she
you have the
works
floor
hard.
for the last bit before we move into the end of this session.
You know what? All right. We can meet this threat head on.
Yeah, no, she saw the note. She heard more story about how a crew member got eaten. You don't fuck with the crew in a set. Like what?
Mm,
I'm mad now.
A
For
lesson
a
for
minor
TTRPGs and real
Yeah.
life. Don't fuck with your stage crew. We put
No.
in a lot of work, god damn it.
Yes.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Also
I'm still
more,
upset over high school stage crew stuff. I'm bitter.
also stage crew people, maybe in the world of Umbra, are also pirates because they were in history. Because that's what pirates did in their off time was they worked on stage. That's why all the rigging uses naval terms backstage. So I'm just saying, more you watched one of your people get taken out, and that's not
Yep.
cool.
Being a pirate in real life, like historically, just sounds really cool. Like
I
this is
wanna
not
be
even
a
related to the
pirate.
game. I'm just stating this as a statement of fact. It sounds really cool.
Mm.
Well,
But
you're stealing from the rich. So yeah.
I see nothing wrong with this. This is in fact on brand. If I could do this even more so in my actual life, I would.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, but since Mother Mercy is not saying anything against us, so we are actually allowed to go and grill her.
Your call.
I'm still waiting for the Maximilian point out. So
You would. I will point out Maximilian to you. Yeah.
I will
He's-
bisexual pirate or chaos pirate this.
So I will say yes, I am gonna do this. I forget he played Scott Pilgrim in the live action movie. I can't remember
Michael
what his
Cera?
name.
Michael
Michael
Cera.
Cera. He has a very Michael Cera kind of vibe to him. He's
All right.
he's not impressive as a marionette or a person at all. He's just that one of those people where you're like, somebody loves you. I don't know who, but somebody does. I'm sure someone is into that.
Not Morse cup of tea, but she can probably do awkward marionette boy, probably for like pretend to be that. I don't know.
I don't know how, but I feel like this is offensive to marionette beings in this world in some capacity, but I'm going to allow this solely because I don't know.
Because chaos.
Yes, but the group is all heading into the theater. You do see Gertrude on stage.
Are there any crew around?
It doesn't appear as though there's some lights on her, and it looks like she's just finished performing something. Hello, lovelies. Have you come to give an apology and to hash out some things?
Gertrude?
Yes.
I have been informed that there has been a terrible incident that has gone unreported with regards to a missing crew member here, and something about a tall, dark, and handsome lion. And I'd like an explanation for that.
Oh, I believe you're operating under the assumption that I owe you anything.
I would like to apologize.
Very kind of you.
I'm very, very sorry that I caused an ugly incident in public. I should have been more respectful and understanding the depth of your villainy. I should have struck you with my blade the moment I met you out of respect for a true adversary. And then he reaches forth, and for the first time this game,
Oh, the sword! You pull out
draws the
sword.
crystal blade.
Oh God, you're pulling out the big one. It's like, oh,
I've
lovely.
already lost.
Yes, you have.
Uh,
Or let us bring the performance to a crescendo in this moment. Let us see what a true dress rehearsal can be like. And as she says that, you watch her raise her hands and she begins to sing. And as she does so, you see up in the rafters what appears to be a crew member collapse down, and you see the lion form emerge
Bad
from
kitties here.
the spotlight. You see it turning attention over to all of you as you see this shadowy creature just sort of beginning to look at you. You see another operatic performer just appear. Actually, a small crowd of them appear, and they just form a wall of bodies that are blocking off the entire zone in front of her.
Mhm.
And last but not least, another performer comes in, more on ground level with you, collapses, and emerging out of it, you see a fiendish, demonic, almost kind of worm that whose breath seems to be emanating out frost. And it burrows into the ground underneath the seats.
Mm.
And that is where we're going to end the session for today. As welcome to the grand performance, everyone.
Oh,
I have to fight against my values. Ugh.
So this has been a very interesting session for about 2.5 hours. We got a lot through there that I was not expecting to do so quickly. But plot progression happens quick, folks. Thank you, everyone who took the time to join us for this. Thank you, everyone who, whether you're new here to watching us or you've been with us since the first session, we are going to keep doing this for another 5 more sessions. We are nearly at the halfway point, everybody, which is so weird to say, but it's been great so far, and I look forward to this every week. Gonna let everyone do quick outros of who you are and one thing you're involved with. My name is Angela Lemos Margarejo. I use she, her pronouns, and I've been your GM/Shadow Weaver for this game. And I am the creative director for Girls Write These Worlds, a subsidiary portion of Girls Run These Worlds. And our zine, our second ever zine, is going to be coming out. We're looking at possibly a 27th release date, actually. So small update, but yeah, we're going to be releasing our second zine on Legacies Fulfilled and Unfulfilled and such. So look forward to that, and I will move it on over to Hector.
yes. Hi, I am Hector Reyes. I am at Keiichi Okami on Twitter and on itch.io. Please check out my games. I'm an indie writer, and nothing's more than 20 pages that I have published now. So please check out my itch. If you can't afford my games, I got community copies. I want you to play them, enjoy them.
Fantastic. And our own chaos extraordinaire bot over there, Jenna.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jenna. I play more she, her pronouns for both. And if you like my chaotic energy, you can catch more of me on Tales from the Forgotten Trope at 7 p.m. Sunday at Eastern Standard Time.
Fantastic. And the incomparable Astral.
Hi, I've been Kestrel, and I edit for a podcast called Monster Fuckers Anonymous, where 2 of my friends talk about how much they want to fuck monsters. It's a comedy podcast. You can go listen to that whenever you listen to podcasts.
Next, the wonderful, absolutely hilarious Nikki.
Hey, I'm Nick. You can find me on social media as NickSnat1, the number 1. And you can also check me out on Twitch under the same name, where I occasionally stream the games that I run for Nightshade Tavern, a Malaysian-based D&D group where we make D&D as accessible to new people as possible. All of a sudden, I have a lot of people signing up for my game, so I might be streaming there quite soon. So yeah, keep an eye out.
Fantastic. And last but not least, our own wonderful Caro.
Yeah, hello. I'm Carol. You can find me at Twitter on the handle Blaine Unrivaled, and yeah, I'm one of the people that are running Horde of Tales, and we are still looking for possible GMs for our Women in Gaming Month in June. So if you're a woman or femme and you love to run games and you want to bring your own view, your own stories into that month and make the world just a better place with a lot more inclusive and diverse content, this is the right place for you. So we are looking especially for people like BIMPOC. Is it right? That's saying?
Yes, you have that correct.
Okay, cool. Like trans femme, disabled people, you know, the full spectrum. So, and we love to have like every one of them in as part of the month.
Fantastic. Thank you to everybody, as always, for being here to watch us, for enjoying, for contributing in chat, and for my players to always bringing me a weekly dose of belly laughs and enjoyment of your surprise faces. That equally makes my day every single time I get one of those out of people. It's fantastic, and every week I look forward to running this game, and I look forward to running it for another 5 more weeks because we got 5 more to go, everybody. The end is in sight, but not really, just the halfway point. So take care, everyone. May your week, the rest of your week be blessed, your weekends be restful, and we'll see you next week with more Aether Secrets of the Heart. Take care, everybody.